If you're stuck, it's not the economy. It's not your boss. It's you. And that's actually good news because you're the only one who can fix it. Welcome to the 15 things keeping you poor and what to do about it instead. Number 15. Carrying high-interest debt. The average American has $6,730 in credit card debt. At a 21% interest rate, that's killing you every month. Most people think the problem is low income. It's not. It's the future income you can never earn because interest never sleeps. A few unpaid bills snowball into years of repayment you'll never escape. If your debt isn't an asset that makes you money, stop taking it on. Period. Every dollar paying interest is a dollar that could be working for you instead of against you. Number 14. Never saying no to lifestyle creep. You get your first decent paycheck and suddenly you're treating yourself, eating out, buying designer clothes, upgrading your phone. Those small purchases feel harmless. But repeated month after month, they quietly destroy your ability to save. Spending increases, your income stays the same, and savings becomes impossible. Without savings, you have no capital to grow. Without capital, you have no way to make your money work for you. You stay exactly where you started, or worse. Number 13. Refusing to educate yourself about money. 88% of millionaires commit to daily self-education. Reading, podcasts, courses. Only 26% of poor people do this. The wealthy aren't smarter by birth. They're obsessed with learning skills that actually pay. If you're not learning something new every single day, you're falling behind. Knowledge compounds faster than interest. A financial book, a money podcast, even 10 pages a night will shift your trajectory more than you know. Number 12. Never planning your financial goals. 76% of millionaires dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to planning their goals. Only 7% of poor people do. Without a plan, you're just reacting. Reacting to bills, reacting to emergencies, reacting to every financial curveball. You never get ahead because you're always in survival mode. 30 minutes a day on your goals. That's it. Write them down. Track them. Adjust them. The discipline builds wealth faster than any side hustle. Number 11. Playing it safe with money. 65% of millionaires took calculated risks, like starting a side hustle or investing early. Only 11% of poor people did. Poor people avoid the stock market because it's too risky. They cling to dead-end jobs because they're comfortable. But here's the reality. Staying comfortable is the biggest risk. Your money needs to work. Whether it's a side business, stocks, or real estate, something has to generate income beyond your paycheck. Without that, you're always broke. Number 10. Growing up poor with no financial models. Stanford economists confirmed it. The lower your household income, the less money you'll likely make at age 30. When you grow up in poverty, there are no examples of healthy financial habits around you. You don't develop financial sense because you never saw anyone with financial sense. This isn't about blame. It's about breaking the cycle. If that was your upbringing, you now have the responsibility to learn and become the first in your family line to do it differently. Number 9. No emergency fund. 1 in 3 Americans have zero emergency savings. Another third can't cover a $400 shock. That median emergency fund? $500. That's not a safety net. That's a single unexpected car repair away from financial catastrophe. Just $2,000 in emergency savings creates a psychological tipping point. People with that much report 21% higher financial well-being, regardless of income. Without an emergency fund, any crisis forces you into high-interest debt, and you're right back in the trap. $2,000 stops that cycle cold. Number 8. Blaming external circumstances. When you shift responsibility to luck, your employer, the government, the economy, you stop taking control. People who avoid owning their financial decisions make reactive choices instead of proactive strategies. This mindset reinforces dependence on external factors. Yes, systems are rigged in some ways. Yes, some people start with advantages. But if you're stuck waiting for the system to fix itself, you'll never move. You have to take the wheel. Number 7. Prioritizing immediate comfort over long-term gain. Your brain is wired for instant reward. Stress, boredom, social pressure all trigger impulsive spending. That coffee, that streaming service, that impulse buy online. Each feels satisfying in the moment. But over months and years, they quietly erase your ability to build wealth. Staying comfortable feels natural, but it diverts capital from opportunities that could multiply your wealth over years or decades. You have to fight that instinct. Number 6. Operating without financial knowledge. Most poor people make decisions blindly, relying on instinct rather than knowledge. No framework for evaluating financial choices. Without understanding budgeting, interest, investment, or debt management, every decision becomes a small but compounding mistake that prevents long-term wealth. You don't need fancy knowledge. Understand how interest works. Know what compound growth is. Learn how to budget. These basics change everything. Number 5. Stress reducing your cognitive capacity. Poverty imposes a massive cognitive load on the poor. You have little bandwidth left for the things that lift you out. The stress of living paycheck to paycheck, worrying about bills, making do with less, it all consumes mental energy you could be using to improve your situation. You can't think long-term when you're drowning in short-term crises. This is why building even a small safety net is so critical. It gives your mind space to actually plan. Number 4. Choosing the wrong circle. Poor people waste time and surround themselves with negativity. Rich people grind, learn, and choose their circle wisely. Your environment shapes your reality. If everyone around you is complaining about money or making poor choices, that becomes your normal. You internalize it as how life works. You might need to ditch that one friend who's always whining or creating chaos. You might need to seek out people doing things right. Your circle directly determines your results. Number 3. Wasting time on screens instead of building skills. Every hour you spend scrolling is an hour not spent learning, not spent working on a side project, not spent creating value. Cut just 1 hour of screen time a day. That's 30 hours a month. That's enough time to finish a financial book, or learn a skill, or start a side business. The wealthy understand that time is the one resource you can't buy back. Every hour on social media is an hour your future self won't get to use for anything else. Number 2. Not having skin in the game. You think you're playing it safe by never investing, never starting anything, never risking a dollar. But that's the riskiest move of all. Failure and mistakes are part of the journey. You learn by doing. Research online, start small, minimize risk, but you have to take that first step. Waiting for someone to guide you or the perfect moment, you'll wait forever. The perfect time to invest, the perfect time to start a business, the perfect conditions, they never come. Number 1. Not accepting that you are responsible. This is the foundation of everything. If you believe your life is determined by luck or circumstances, you've already lost. The rich and poor aren't that different in intelligence or opportunity. The difference is what they do daily. The poor waste time. The rich grind, learn, and build. It's not fair and it's not easy to hear. But if you're stuck, it's not the economy. It's not your boss. It's the daily choices you're making or not making. The good news? Wealth isn't a mystery. It's not about privilege or luck. It's about habits. Change your habits. Change your life. Don't like where you are? Let that fuel you. Let that anger or frustration become the fire to actually change. Stop making excuses. Start today. Cut 1 hour of screen time. Read 10 pages of a finance book. Start planning one goal. Find one person doing things right and spend more time with them. Start with one habit. Just one. Because one habit compounds. One habit leads to another. One decision leads to a different life. Wealth is not mysterious. It's not random. It's a choice. And the choice is yours. So what's it going to be? Are you ready to start building? Now look at point 7. You're not tracking where your money actually goes. Most people have no idea what they spend each month because they never look. They guess. They hope it's fine. But guessing with money is like flying blind. How do you fix something you can't see? The moment you track your spending, really track it, 2 things happen. First, you find money you didn't know you had. Small leaks you didn't see. Second, you gain control. You stop being a passenger in your own life. Point 8. You have no emergency fund. One unexpected bill and you're finished. You skip rent, you charge a credit card, you borrow from someone, and suddenly you're behind. One car repair, one medical visit, one job disruption, it's enough to spiral. Nearly 1 in 3 American families couldn't cover a $400 emergency right now. That's not a statistic about poor people. That's your neighbor. That's the reality when you have no buffer between you and disaster. Start small. Even $50 a month. Even 20. Build a $1,000 cushion. Then 2. This one habit breaks the poverty cycle faster than anything else because it gives you choices. When you have choices, you stop making desperate decisions. Point 9. You're stuck in debt that compounds against you. Not the debt itself, but how you're handling it. You make minimum payments on credit cards. You stretch out loans. You're paying interest on top of interest, and the debt gets bigger while you get older. Here's the math that keeps you trapped. Say you owe $5,000 on a credit card at 18% interest, making only minimum payments. That debt will take you over 6 years to pay off. In that time, you'll pay almost $4,000 just in interest. You paid for the original stuff twice. The way out isn't complicated. Stop adding to it. Cut the card if you have to. Attack the principal, not the minimum. Every extra dollar goes toward principal, not interest. Compound interest works against you when you're paying. It works for you when you're investing. Which one are you doing? Point 10. You don't understand compound interest, so you don't invest. Only 45% of people actually understand how compound interest works. The other 55% avoid investing because it feels complicated or risky. This is brutal math. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25, with just a 7% average annual return, by age 65 you'll have over $500,000. Same person waits until 35? That same 100 a month gives you $250,000. You lose $250,000 by waiting a single decade. Not by doing anything wrong, but by not starting. Every year you wait costs you tens of thousands. And most poor people wait their whole lives. They work 50 years and retire with almost nothing. Invest in low-cost index funds. Put money in a 401k if your employer matches. Even $10 a week is better than zero. Start now, not next year. Not when you have more money. Now. Because time is the one resource you can't buy back. Point 11. You're in a low-wage job and you accept it as permanent. You stop negotiating. You stop looking around. You think this is what you deserve, so you stay stuck. But staying in a dead-end job for 5, 10, 15 years costs you hundreds of thousands in lifetime earnings. 36% of people making six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. It's not about the salary. It's about your choices. But yes, salary matters too. A 2% raise during 5% inflation is a pay cut. Do market research. Check what your skills are worth on Glassdoor. Talk to people in your field. Negotiate hard. If your company won't give you raises that match inflation, you leave. Companies are not loyal to you. Stop being loyal to them. A $5,000 raise sounds good, right? But over 30 years, that's $150,000 extra dollars. Over a lifetime, better jobs compound just like investments do. Every job move matters. Every raise matters. Point 12. You have the wrong circle. 96% of poor people surround themselves with others who reinforce poverty. Friends who complain instead of plan. Friends who dream instead of do. Friends who are also broke and comfortable staying that way. Your circle is your future. Full stop. If you hang around people who spend everything they make, you'll spend everything too. If you're around people who read about money and invest, you'll do that. Your friend's mindset becomes your mindset. This is painful but true. You might need to distance from people you've known forever. People who are comfortable being broke and don't want to change. You can't fix them, and they'll drag you down trying. Find a mentor. Someone who's already built wealth and will talk to you honestly. Find communities online, in books, at workshops. Surround yourself with winners. You'll be shocked how fast your thinking changes when you're around people playing to win. Point 13. You're not using your network to find work. 70% of jobs are filled through referrals and personal connections, not job boards. But if your network is small or weak, you're locked out of 70% of opportunities. A LinkedIn study found that 66% of referrals are actually hired. But you're scrolling job listings wondering why you never get picked. You're competing with hundreds. A referral gets you in the door with already vetted credibility. Build your network like it's your job, because it is. Talk to people in your industry. Go to meetups, conferences, online communities. Connect with former colleagues. Provide value first. Help others. Then when a door opens, they think of you. People with strong networks escape poverty faster. Not because they're special, but because doors open through people, not job boards. If your network is weak, that's money you're leaving on the table every single month. Point 14. You're not unbanked, but you might as well be. Nearly 6 million American households have zero checking or savings account. No access to credit, to building a financial life, to anything. Everything costs more when you're outside the system. If you're unbanked, you pay fees just to cash your paycheck. Payday lenders trap you with 300% interest. You can't build credit. You can't get a real loan, never mind a mortgage. You're locked out before you even start. If you don't have a bank account, open one today. Many require no minimum. Start building credit with a secured card if that's where you are. Get into the system. Building wealth starts with having somewhere to save it. Point 15, the final one. You don't have a plan. You're reactive, not strategic. Things happen to you instead of because of you. You work a job, you spend your paycheck, you wonder why nothing changes. Without a plan, you're drifting. 76% of millionaires spend at least 30 minutes every single day planning, working toward goals, reading, learning. Only 7% of poor people do. That's it. The difference isn't luck or IQ. It's discipline. It's planning. Write down your financial goal for 5 years. Be specific. How much do you want saved? What's the plan to get there? Break it into monthly targets. Then every single day, do one thing toward it. Just one. Read 10 pages of a financial book. Cut one expense. Call someone about a job. Small daily actions compound. You've seen this now. Every habit, every choice, every decision stacks. Do it consistently, and in 2 years your life looks totally different. Keep drifting, and in 2 years you're exactly where you started, older and more broke. The 15 things keeping you poor are fixable. Every single one. None of them require luck, connections you don't have, or waiting for the economy to change. They require you to change. To take responsibility for what happens next. Not because it's fair, but because it works. Wealth is not mysterious. It's a math problem. It's a habit problem. It's a discipline problem. Start today. Cut the screen time. Track one expense. Open a savings account. Find one person doing better and learn from them. Choose one thing and start. You're not poor because you lack talent or opportunity. You're stuck because you haven't yet decided to move. The system is rigged, yes. But inside the system, there's still a path. And it's waiting for you to walk it. The only thing stopping you is you. 8. You're carrying debt you can't see coming. Right now, 46% of Americans carry credit card balances. That's almost half. Credit card interest rates sit at 22.3% on average. That's not a burden. That's a trap. You're paying interest on money you've already spent. When you're trapped in the cycle of minimum payments, you're handing your future to the lender. $1.2 trillion in credit card debt nationwide. That's not a coincidence. It's the system, and you're inside it unless you break out. 9. You have no cushion when life hits. 47% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency. Not won't. Can't. One car repair, one medical bill, one sick pet, and you're back to the credit cards. The median emergency fund in America sits at $500. The experts say you need 3 to 6 months of expenses. Most people have enough to cover a weekend. You're one event away from falling backward. That's poverty. 10. You avoid risk completely. 65% of millionaires took calculated risks like starting a side gig or investing early. Only 11% of poor people did. You play it safe because safety feels like survival. It's actually the opposite. Staying comfortable is the biggest risk you can take. It means your income stays flat, your skills don't grow, and inflation slowly eats everything you have. Risk builds resilience. Resilience builds wealth. Fear builds nothing. 11. You spend money to look like you have money. Designer clothes, the right car, eating out on a Friday night. You're not buying the item. You're buying the feeling of not being poor. Except you are still poor. 29% of Americans have more credit card debt than emergency savings. They're financing their identity. Your clothes don't make you rich. Your bank account does. Stop trading future wealth for today's approval. 12. You won't look at your finances. 36% of six-figure earners live paycheck to paycheck. Money comes in. Life happens. Nothing's left. They never sat down to see where it goes. Ignorance doesn't protect you. It destroys you. When you avoid looking at your money, you can't control it. You can't save it. You can't invest it. You can't build with it. You're living blind, and broke people never get to see the road out. Open the statement. Face the number. That's where change starts.